Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman on the ones and twos. We're Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 2 Lincoln locations. Big shout out to my man Money Mike, too. So I think Austin's stepping out, going to connect the call. Got a big announcement. What do you think it is, DP?
Well, we know what it is. We know what it is. They made the Supernovas made the announcement this morning at 7:00, and a big part of it that is you're building a new league, a new federation, and then
right.
you're trying to figure out what local players fit the culture. And if you're talking volleyball in Nebraska, there's a lot because you can pick.
Yeah.
You can go to Creighton. You can go to Lincoln.
Anywhere.
You can go anywhere and pick from a large pool of players. And then situation and circumstance. So in a year where there are Olympics, so some of the former Huskers are battling for Team USA or for an opportunity to be a part of Team USA. And then as a part of it, to franchise a player that you wanted specific rights to.
Right.
For the Supernovas, that player was Gina Mancuso-Prasovsky.
Yeah.
And there's several reasons why. One being Omaha, Nebraska native, being in play, right? That it's known and the right quality of person, the right character.
Right.
And we've talked to Coach Bird about culture and the personalities that have to match. Well, if you're going to build a franchise, to identify somebody as the franchise player, you're literally making the statement that this is the greatest representation of what the Omaha Supernovas and this federation are about. For the Supernovas, they chose Gina Mancuso-Prasovsky. Let's bring her on the Allo VIP line, and we want to thank her for making time for us on the Monday. GMP, Gina, how are you?
Hi, DP. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. The real question in this thing is, how are you? A big day for you. A big day for you.
Yes, I'm on cloud 9. Absolutely. It's been a wonderful day. Just with the announcement, I've had just such a positive, overwhelming response that my heart can't take it anymore. It's melted already. Like I can't, it's just been such a nice day and everybody's been so unbelievably supportive and I can't stop smiling.
Gina, let our listeners know the story. So you, as the franchise player, and then this morning, the media was called together and the Supernovas made an announcement. And they did so with a very touching video from you. Can you let our listeners know what the announcement was this morning?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for that introduction. That was very complimentary, so thank you for that. But, yes, so shortened version is I was blessed with a platform. Hurrdat Media and Supernovas have given me this opportunity to share my story, which is a miracle happened in my life. My husband and I got shocking, amazing news that we were expecting a child. And I struggled with infertility for a year and a half, and a lot of women go through that these days. And so it was really vulnerable for me and personal to talk about that. But my hope and vision in all of it was that I could somehow encourage and reach somebody and just give them hope, because we all need hope, right? And it's just, if I can reach out my hand and help someone and pull them up along their journey, that was kind of my goal. And so it was a little bit, yes, like I said, vulnerable to share all of that. But like I said, if I'm reaching one, that was worth it all. And so My husband and I are expecting a baby in July this year. We're not going to find out if it's a boy or girl, so right now it's a big surprise for all of us.
Okay.
But just a little bit, I said in my story, it is a little bit bittersweet because as the franchise player, I have been working towards this season since June, kind of running all over the state and just meeting with fans and, building this franchise and doing the best we can to get people excited. And of course, then I also had the responsibility of performing and being a player on the court. And so it is a little bit bittersweet that time as a player has come to an end officially, but the suite is so much better. And my husband and I, our families, friends, everybody couldn't be more excited. So in a nutshell, we're having a baby.
Gina, it's spectacular. And here's what's beautiful about it. And after spending time, as I said to everyone at practice, I'm grateful and appreciative that Supernovas have welcomed Rico and myself into the tour, and we get to see behind the scenes and kind of learn the stories and who the people are. And one of the things that was noticed all along, that everything that you just said about using everything that you go through to help somebody else along through their journey and their battle, that's you as a player, that you as a leader, that you as a community, this is who you are, and it has to come from somewhere. So let me ask you, coming from a family of athletes in this space, coming from Omaha, define what it is. Where does this come from that you care so much, not only about the people you care about, but the people that you don't care about? You want it easier for everybody.
Well, yeah, that's a wonderful question, and I hope you don't mind, but I'm not going to hold back my answer. And my answer is, for me, it's God. I grew up in a Christian family, and I really give my parents a lot of credit for just how they raised us. But I have Jesus in my heart, and that's where this care and support and this encouragement, this giving, selfless attitude, that's where it all comes from. I really have to give all the glory to God because he has blessed me beyond measure, and this is the least I can do for him.
Yeah.
And I feel really undeserving, but that's what grace is all about. And so I just kind of open my hands and say, how can you use me, Lord? And this is one way, one avenue that he's showing me, he's blessing me with. And so, it's just having that selfless heart and putting others before yourself. And that's just kind of where it all comes from. Like I said, we grew up in a Christian family, and I give a lot of credit to my parents, just how they've raised us kids.
Through all of it, an athletic family, even
Yes.
the siblings, but your dad is the first one I'll ask you about. Identify your dad for listeners that may not know the story of who your father is.
Well, he'll probably tell you he's just some average Joe, but he's amazing. He's a highly talented athlete. He played baseball, football. He was in the NFL for a few years, but us kids never believe him when he tells us that. But, after years of accusing him of lying, he actually pulled out an old magazine of him in a Dallas Cowboys jersey. So we're like, wow, okay, you were telling the truth all these years. But, so he's super athletic. He comes from an athletic family himself. His dad was an excellent baseball player, had the opportunity to play pro, but then he actually started a family instead. So maybe I get that from him. I don't know. But, so I have very talented and athletic siblings as well, one being my sister, Danny. She played for the University of Nebraska at Lincoln as well, and she won a national championship in 2006. So definitely raised in a competitive family, and it doesn't just have to be sports. I mean, put us on a game of Monopoly, and we're going to fight till the end, An Uno game could be pretty dangerous in our house. But, definitely grew up around athleticism, and give a lot of credit to my father because he instilled in us this attitude of, why practice if you aren't going to get better? So get better today. When I was a kid, he would drop me off at practices. That would be his only requirement. When I got out of the car, he'd say, get better today at something. Otherwise, it's a waste of my time and your time. And I loved that. I think some people might think that's harsh, but I loved it. And when I got back in the car, he would ask me, what did you get better at today? And it could even be something as simple as, I became a better cheerleader for my team today, or maybe more technical of, my float serve really got better today. But I just had to give him an answer because that was a requirement. So love my father, love my family, give them a lot of credit for a lot of success in my life.
Through all of this, right? That as you talk about the dreams and how things were being put together, first of all, getting to the University of Nebraska, adding to it, you chose it over track and basketball, having options. If you weren't the volleyball player that you are, what other sport, what was going to be the sport of choice? Because you were going to excel at whatever you were doing. What would the other choice have been?
Well, beach volleyball was always like my initial dream, but I live in Nebraska. There's not a lot of beaches here, and so it's a little bit harder path. But I shouldn't maybe say regret, but if I could go back, I would love to do tennis. If I could go pro in any sport, I would pick tennis. I've really learned to love that sport, and after my pro volleyball career, that is definitely a sport that I want to pick up and get better at and just learn the game. But I think it's really fun, and obviously it takes a lot of athleticism, and it's an exciting game to watch. So I've never played it though, so that's kind of odd.
I think you would have done fine. I think you would have done exactly at the same level. You mentioned a thing that you couldn't have even have dreamed of this thing. We've been on the road. Orlando, Vegas, Atlanta, Columbus, Grand Rapids. We were just in Orlando. And a thing happens on the road that we see, and it happens in Omaha, but I'm working, so I don't get to see it as much. But on the road after, in the arenas that we're in Orlando, the fans lined up and stayed an hour after the game, getting pictures and autographs and meeting everybody. What this league and federation has done, what you have done as an ambassador for it, is to change the vision, vantage, and perspective of thousands of young ladies across the country.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, has that landed at how impressive this really is? What you've done and what you're currently doing for young ladies across the country is making it real that they can play professional volleyball in the United States.
Oh, for sure. I think you and I especially, we've seen it firsthand. So I have thoroughly enjoyed that. Just seeing these younger generations aspire to be where we are, that is a really cool position for us as the players to be in as well. But you see these little girls just look up to us with these bright, starry eyes like, wow, like this could be us someday. And that it will be them someday. That's the beauty and the like power of this league right now, is that will be them someday. It's not a maybe, it will be. And that's like just how cool this league has changed women volleyball players, I guess I should say, their lives, because it is now a dream come true for so many of us. So yeah, it's been super impactful. I am so thankful for the Pro Volleyball Federation and all they've done. And not only for us, but the future generations to come. I am a firm believer in just what I've seen so far, and what you've seen so far. Like we can give a testament to this. Is like this is going to be around for a long time, a long time. And so I just can't wait to sit back and watch it all unfold. Even more so.
Yeah, we were with Gina Mancuso-Przowski, and again of the Omaha Supernovas, making a big announcement today about joy in her life and a wonderful opportunity for her and her family to add to and life beyond, and it's just a wonderful thing. And when good things happen to good people, we shout a little bit louder, we shout a little bit longer, and we celebrate. And through all of this, you're not the only mom on this team. Like, this team has set a new precedent that pro athletes in this space figure out a way. Jess Shaban-Landsman literally just had a baby, and she's now recoiled herself, rebranded herself, and in the league playing at the highest level possible in the United States. Talk to me about that, because you're getting to talk to them about what that's like. Help us out understand what this is saying.
I bother them with questions all the time about this. But Christina, Betty, and Jess, they have all been such wonderful examples for me. Shout out to all of them, because they are moms. They're doing it live right now. Like, they are moms and they're professional athletes, and they're doing it well. And so they've been great examples. They've been great role models, great resources for me. And what better team to be a part of than this one, with 3 moms right here for me to reach out a hand and help me with my journey along the way. So it's been wonderful. They, like I said, they just can't have enough credit. They've been succeeding very well at multitasking and handling these 2 different roles.
Gina, this is, and in full disclosure, I knew that before we started this interview, there's zero chance I could get to everything I want to talk to you about on air. Like, I literally, there's several things in play that we won't have time to get to. So I'll try to get through as much of it as possible, because you played volleyball in college at the highest level in the best program in the country. Then you went pro, traveled the world, you played in different levels in different places, and now playing here in the Pro Volleyball Federation. If I asked you to give a definition of how good the volleyball is that's happening right now in the United States, I've had people ask me the difference between the Supernovas and the Huskers, and I said that's not fair. But
right, that's an unfair question.
Right, it's an unfair question. It really is like different levels and a different conversation. But
yes,
some of the greatest players in the world are in this federation, some of them wearing the Supernovas colors. How good is the volleyball?
Well, I would just say that I would first start by saying this is the inaugural season. Mm-hmm. So I think from here on out, just with the success that this league has already seen, it's only going to get more competitive, because right now Europe, those areas of the country or the world have a lot more history, have a lot more experience. So right now, a majority of these top players are still overseas. But I am fully confident that we are going to start getting those players here in the United States, more of them, I should say, because I know firsthand that we have overseas players reaching out to us saying, I want to be where you are at. That looks, you guys look like you got it going on. Like, this is so cool. This level is awesome. Like, we want to be in the United States. And so, yes, I would 100% say that the level this season for the inaugural year is very high. But I am also going to say that from here on out, we're only going to keep getting those top international players to make this level even better. And so, you said it's an unfair question to compare us and the Huskers. Well, it is, because professional is always going to be a step above college, right? It's just the next step in the athletic career. Girls get stronger, they get faster, they get smarter. And so it's just been really successful so far this season. It's been really fun to be a part of. And I think the fans would agree. They like the level they see. It's been pretty exciting for them.
Yeah, to watch again, and I'm trying to give the picture for folks, that they would line up at the baseline after the game, and they would run the baseline, and then the fans would line from the baseline across all the way up to the half point of midcourt, and then all the way up the stairs from the concourse level just to come down, shake hands, take pictures, get autographs. That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it 100% is. I think all of us on this team could agree, like, the support we've had, and not just the Supernovas, but all the teams in the league, has been unbelievable. We love to see it, and we love inspiring, and we know how much of an honor we have to be in the shoes that we are. And so any fan listening, just thank you for that support.
It's been incredible. And there's 2 home matches this week, Thursday and Saturday. In the next segment coming up, we're going to give away some tickets so folks can come and see the Supernovas play. We're going to give them out. We've been giving them out all day, but we want folks to experience it. You mentioned international players with their eyes and ears towards the U.S. and the Pro Volleyball Federation. Why did you choose it? When having option, why did you choose to come back to the U.S. to play?
Oh man, this is a no-brainer question.
Yeah.
I got to play for my hometown, my home people. I got to go. You know what? A lot of people don't realize. Like, I chose Omaha. I chose the United States because I am familiar with things. I don't have to drive on the opposite side of the street in a stick-shift car that I just learned how to drive, like, hours before. I get to use a toilet that has toilet paper and there's not a hole in the ground. I get to eat food that I can actually know what I'm eating. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, we are so fortunate to have this league now in the United States and be able to play for our home soil. I mean, it is such a privilege, and it's a dream come true for so many of us. And not just the players who are playing now, but girls who are in college now, girls who are in middle school now. We don't have to be forced to make that decision to go overseas anymore. So it's a really big deal, and it's life-changing.
Nia Reed was saying it after Sunday's match that she had a huge family, huge contingency of folks, right? And she said, overseas, you have to chase everything. Because you go home, you play in front of a crowd, you don't know what the crowd's going to be, you don't always know what they're saying, and then afterwards you go home by yourself. And here, she goes, I get hugs and cheers. It's got to be spectacular for you to play in Omaha and to have people that you've known all your life be able to come and support you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think overseas, you have to fight that feeling of isolation on a daily basis. You know, you don't really know anybody. Nobody really knows you. You most likely don't understand the language. You don't understand the land. So yeah, isolation is a big deal when you're overseas. And so having this, like, physical and emotional connection with our home people is just so rewarding and so enriching. And definitely another reason why we all chose to stay in the United States.
Gina, before we let you go, I have to ask you to give your elevator pitch to fans, listeners out there that haven't come to a Supernovas game. If they come to CHI Health Center on Thursday or Saturday, give them the elevator pitch on some of your teammates and why they should come watch the Supernovas play.
Well, I would love to say that we're the best of the best. We represent Omaha well. The venue itself, if you want goosebumps all the time, for sure come, because we make it fun, we make it entertaining. I got people in my family who lead dances and who lead cheers in the CHI. So it's definitely not a boring time. It's very entertaining for the whole family, not just adults, not just kids. But you will come and you will be impressed with the level that you'll see, and you'll be impressed with just the determination that all of my teammates and coaches put out there. And we're always going to do our best for you as a fan, and we want to represent Omaha well.
Gina, thank you so much for who you are, what you do, and how you do it. It matters. I wanted to let you know it's seen. It's appreciated. And again, they couldn't pick a better ambassador
DP, you're the man. Thank you.
They just couldn't, and you're going to be around, and I know we're gonna lean on you forward. We'll give you more. You'll have more time to do more stuff, at least for the next few months, anyway.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you. We will see you Thursday at CHI. Gina Mancuso-Brzezowski, thank you so much for who you are.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Jay, this quickly, right? You get it.
Right, yeah.
They picked one. They picked the right one.
Yeah. I mean, I keep referencing when we were up there at, CWS and doing our thing over there, and she was just kind of like handing out I wouldn't say cards, but postcards, and she came over very personable. Obviously was a great player in her own right, so I mean that just speaks for itself. But they definitely picked the right person to represent not only the Supernovas, but the federation, the whole league. Yeah. She can represent the whole league. Operates with the utmost respect and class, and also way too humble for how phenomenal she was at her sport. But like I said, I only had, was it a conversation in passing? Hey, this. She said, kind of told me what she was doing. It obviously made an impression just because of how nice she was, and then obviously being a great player. So they definitely, really the overall the league has done a good job. One of the representation that they've had. 2 is the talent. 3 is obviously the coaches and the whole deal. It's tightened up. Everything's first class. Yep. And they realize the first impression is the last impression, and that's why you continue, especially in Omaha, you're going to continue to see record crowds and obviously a great team.
What we're going to do, we'll go to break. When we come back, first of all, we'll take the first 2 texts that say, "I want to see the Supernovas." You have a choice between Thursday and Saturday. Text in, say, "Hey, look, I want to go see Supernovas." We'll pick 2 of you. We'll give you and your family tickets. You can go, and then we'll have Jay Foreman come up with a trivia question, and we'll give away 2 more sets of tickets.
So it's got to be a volleyball question, huh?
No, it could be just anything that is in the mind, that vault that is information in the head of Jay Foreman.
Yeah, I'm not good at volleyball, but I can think of something.
There we go. We'll do that.
I'll
old
think
school.
of something.
There we go. Old school. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.